Uh, uh, what? Come on. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily. It's the daily go get up mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it wins? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talking about, do music videos and radio matter anymore? Tonight, do music videos and radio play matter anymore? Now, I can't answer this question myself because I haven't listened to the radio in any kind of way consistently in 20 or 25 years. I stopped listening to radio in the 90s, and I'm not even kidding. I stopped listening to radio in the 90s. And the reason I stopped listening to radio in the 90s is because I never liked the programming. You know, I bought a lot of records, tapes, and CDs. So I knew the material that was on the album, and I knew what these artists had to offer versus what they was playing on the radio, based on what the record companies released from the artists. So a lot of times, a lot of the records that were released to the public weren't the songs that I thought were really good. Evidently, somebody knew something about what they were talking about because those records became hits, even though I may not have appreciated them as much. So for me, yeah, you would definitely get your album bought from me back then, whether I heard it on the radio or not. More than likely, I didn't hear it on the radio. So you might ask, well, how did you know if an artist was good or not? I would go to a record store, and I ain't even gonna lie, man. You know, when hip hop wasn't as big as it was going to get, when it was in its beginning stages, its infancy stages, if you had a cassette tape, I knew that you were on a decent label because so many hip hop artists were on little small independent labels, and they didn't have a cassette tape. So that you may have pressed up an album, but you may not have had enough money and distribution to press up a cassette tape. So if you had a cassette tape, I would buy it. It was simple as that, based on what the album cover looked like. Like I could kind of tell, like this artist looks like they might have some heat. And I got lucky. That's how I actually discovered NWA, when they were NWA in the Posse. And that was in 1987. So when I saw, them come out when they came out with Straight Outta Compton, I was already on a bumper. I already knew, what it was hitting for with them. So I'm used to local artists and artists that weren't local being able to make strides and sell a lot of records and make some money without getting radio play, because NWA didn't get radio play until they went double platinum. Then the radio started playing their shit. So they kind of, caught up from the rear. But NWA was getting played on MTV and BET and on cable stations, cable video stations. So it wasn't like they didn't have any push. They just didn't have a major radio push. So you could do it without radio. So I'm thinking that if you could do it without radio, then you could do it. You were probably meant to be successful. Somebody is going to feel your stuff somewhere out there in the world, and you want to take advantage of that. So fast forward to 2025. The way music is sold now, the way music is bought now, the way music is listened to now is totally different than anything I thought I would ever see. Let's see. What up, T. Carey? Right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Tori 2200, what's good? How you feeling, Ma? And also, what's that? Miss Ryder J? Is that what that says? No, wait. I got that all wrong. Maros Ryder J? Still not sure if I got it right. Blame it on my head, not my heart. Maybe blame it on my eyes. Christopher Vaughn, do Mariana right now. I don't even know what Mariana is, so that's not going to get done. But I appreciate you coming to the show. I hope you enjoy yourself. So what do y'all think? Do music videos and radio really matter anymore? Shoot, for all y'all Gen Xers, the radio and music videos is what you grew up on. You didn't know any other way. The music videos started to really get popular in the early 80s. And we rode that wave all the way into the 90s and probably till now for some people. I don't watch music videos. And after the 90s, I really didn't watch them. You know, but that's just me. So I can't base everything on my experience. I just know that from my experience, it can be done. You know, you just have to find a way to get yourself out there. But if we talking about do videos and radio matter anymore? Well, radio stations still exist. And since most radio stations are now on the internet, just about all of them, which really is a good thing for them, because by them streaming on the on the internet, you know, stations that may not have been strong in your area. Like, you ever have a favorite station, a station that you really like, and it has a weak signal? So you steady playing with that tuner knob. You playing with that tuner knob, moving it 1 millimeter, another millimeter, trying to catch the right frequency for that damn channel. And you still getting a little, listen to some old Lauryn Hill. You listen to Lauryn Hill 1998. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Could it all be so simple? Get simple then. But you rather make it hard. Love is like a battle. And we both come out with scars. Man, that radio, you know, trying to get your favorite radio station tuned in, those were not good times. Those were not good times. But that's what we grew up on. Now, I'm sure that some of y'all probably still listen to the radio today, right? And even if you don't listen to the radio, you still have access to radio programs, because so many radio shows are syndicated and found on the internet. They have YouTube channels and things like that. So even if you don't watch the entire, even if you don't listen to the entire broadcast of, let's say the Breakfast Club, or I don't know, you pick your radio station, because the Breakfast Club is just about maybe the Sway and Tech Show. They're probably the only radio programs that are really popular that I can name, that people, you know, rely on and listen to on the radio. Listen to on the internet. I don't know. But do you listen to the radio? When you get in your car now, if you have a car that has an adapter, or, you know, is compatible or capable to, you know, with Bluetooth for your phone, where you can listen to whatever music you have on your phone or your apps or whatever, do you still listen to the radio, or do you just listen to your phone? I swear, I don't listen to the radio. I have no idea of what new music is out, unless that artist really blows up and somehow I see them on the internet and then I find out what's going on. Now, y'all might look at me like, yeah, man, you're a real old head, because you don't know these new artists that are out. I'm sorry, I'm guilty. I don't know these new artists that are out. I don't know these new artists that are out. Yo, I couldn't tell you nothing about him, but it's all good. Yo, the youth gotta, school me and put me on. But it's whack. I don't want to hear none of that. Do radio and music videos matter anymore? Do they? TK Wright says, I rarely listen to the actual radio. She said, and when I do, I'm usually disappointed. The one thing I will say about the radio is that it's reliable. Radio is better now than it probably ever has been because you have HD radio now. Most cars and devices and stuff, they have HD radio. So you can really, those staticky stations that you used to try to listen to back in the day, now you can hear them clearly on the internet. Now, I imagine that if you stream your radio station on the internet, do you still get radio credits, or do you get radio frequency wave credits? Now, I'm not sure if y'all know what I'm talking about. The only time when I do listen to the radio, I'm listening to sports radio, and it's normally because I left the Eagles game before it was ended, and I want to make sure, I want to see if they won. Come on, Carrie says, especially when it comes to mumble rap, I always think, how did this person become it? Then I remember that social media plays a huge part. So there you have it. Now, I'm not saying that, Carrie is the end all be all, but she's obviously talking about something that's relevant in today's blah 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 bang 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 bang. My people, Johnny West just came in the house. What's good? What's good? He says, yo, the Bears are who they thought they were. Yeah, I guess I gotta take this until Eagles get their shit together, or if they get their shit together, I'm gonna have to take this heat. I swear, my team is the only team that can go from first to worst with just a loss or two. And maybe it only seems like that because I don't be wanting to hear that shit. But I was there. So that's more of why I don't be wanting to hear that shit. Like I saw that shit in person. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see it. But you're right. The Bears are the Bears are who they think they are. They like that. They're like that. Now, are they really, really like that? Or were the Eagles not like that? Now the Eagles, I don't want to talk about these goddamn and make me put my drums away because I'm like, oh God, I knew it was coming though. I knew it was coming. You know what I mean? I gotta take my bumps and bruises like everybody else. Gotta take my bumps and bruises like everybody else. You win some, you lose some. I hate to lose. I hate to lose any. But hey, I gotta roll with the punches. I ain't on the field. What can I say? I know how the Packers feel when they lost and people were saying that they was washed. How the Lions feel when they come up short every year. How the Kansas City Chiefs feel right now. They ain't delivering. They ain't coming through. I knew the Eagles was gonna lose today, and that's the part that disturbs me. I watch patterns. I watch certain patterns when it comes to behavior. I wish I couldn't see what I see. I'm not psychic or I don't have extrasensory perception, but I watch what a motherfucker do. And if a motherfucker is successful at what he does, he's going to keep doing it. And if a cat thinks that he's successful at what he does, he's going to keep doing it. And that's what we're running into when it comes to the Eagles. They really think that what they're doing is going to net them success. So they're going to have to keep losing until they see, like, yo, y'all was a shoo-in to win the NFC East. You gonna fuck around and let Dallas come up and pass you. And that will be a disgrace. But it could happen. But back to radio and videos or whatever. Do y'all still watch videos? Music videos. Do y'all still watch them? You know, they still exist. They still exist. And I ain't gonna lie. Whenever I see a new music video, a video of some new music, I be like, damn, videos. Huh. And I swear, whenever it's a female music video, I'm like, damn, man. So all of these bitches is nasty now, huh? Like, that's just what y'all do. I'm talking about the female rappers. There ain't no clean female rappers, it don't seem like. And I could be wrong, because I'm not plugged in like that. But it just seems like there are no clean female rappers anymore. They all gotta twerk. They all gotta shake their ass, show their ass, put out a sex video talking about it been leaked when they actually put it out. Facts don't change mind says, yeah, they don't get as much views as before. You talking about the videos or whatever? Johnny West says, remember when BH, oh, you mean VH1, you should do them little facts about the band. I love that. Oh, when VH1 used to do those little facts about the band. You talking about pop-up video. Wasn't that the name of this? It was pop-up video. And they used to have the little bubbles, the little thought bubbles, and it had a little, yeah, that was kind of cool for VH1. I hated VH1. They racist ass. They wanting to play hip hop ass. Yeah, pop-up video. I remember that. I definitely remember that. See, that's more than 90s. That's more than 90s. And it's crazy because, you know, you think about MTV, how MTV was one of those stations that really got videos popping. I'm not going to credit MTV for getting all videos popping because they don't deserve credit for that. There used to be a show on the internet before called New York Hot Tracks. And when I tell you that show was awesome, I mean that show was awesome. New York Hot Tracks. If you look it up on the internet, let me see. Let me see if I can find some information about New York Hot Tracks. That was out slightly before MTV, at least to my knowledge it was. The show New York Hot Tracks. Okay. New York Hot Tracks was a syndicated music television series which aired from 1983 to 1989 and achieved the #1 music variety show spot in the United States. Oh, God. In the United States, Hot Tracks was executive produced and syndicated by M.K. Thomas and Company of Chicago in association with WABC TV New York. The 44-minute weekly series was distributed to more than 110 markets across the country. The show debuted on July 22nd, 1983, a full week before NBC's Friday Night Videos. The original host was WKTU disc jockey Carlos De Jesus, who introduced the videos from various locations in and around New York City, usually dance nightclubs. I'm telling you, New York Hot Tracks was on fire at the time. New York Hot Tracks was doing numbers. at that time. So, you know, 83, you could say that MTV and Hot Tracks was out at around the same time. But I know if I look up MTV, they're gonna try to say, no, MTV got started in 1980. And I'm like, yeah, I guess we just didn't find out about it until 83. When did MTV come out?
MTV, which stands for Music Television, first aired on August 1st, 1981. The very first music video they played was Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles.
That's wrong as hell. How could Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles be the first video that came out in 1981 when that song wasn't even out in 1981 and videos hadn't killed nothing in 1981? What is they talking about? What year did Video Killed the Radio Star come out?
Video Killed the Radio Star came out in 1979. The song and its music video were released around the same time.
Never mind, man. I don't know.
It was the first one played on MTV on August 1st, 1981.
Never mind, man. I don't know no information. How could that song? What videos was killing the radio star in 1981? When? How? 1979? What videos was killing the radio star in 1979? What? When? Shit, Tina Marie first album didn't even have her picture on it. And it blew. What are we talking about? Dimples D's, what's good, ma? How you feeling? Okay. Oh, you said MTV was 81, but I didn't know about MTV until later. Only Hot Tracks. That's what I'm saying. I don't, you know. They be saying shit came out. I didn't see that shit. But all right. Evidently, I don't know what I thought I knew. The hell with it. You know what I mean? I'm totally demoralized today. What up, RL? What's that? RLC? I don't know. CI? No, I ain't even gonna try. RL, we just gonna stick with that. YouTube killed the video star. No, they didn't. Videos are still popping. Somewhere. The disco videos. So do radio, I need to know, do y'all, I'm the only one who answered was Carrie. Do y'all still listen to the radio? When you get in your car, do you pop in the radio? Do you still have a vintage Walkman or whatever at the crib or whatever? Do you listen to the radio? Somebody still listen to the radio because we still have plenty of radio stations. Even the radio stations that were out during the heyday of videos and, you know, the birth of hip hop and all of that, they're still around. So, do you listen to the radio? Okay, Dimples, you still listen to the radio? Okay, cool. Johnny West says, did you guys have Pump It Up on Saturday? Pump It Up. Wasn't that with D Barnes? Wasn't that? Didn't Dr. Dre beat up the chick on Pump It Up? Wasn't that was like a video show, right? Ain't that the one that Dr. Dre beat up? Cause she let NWA come. No. Yeah. She let NWA come on and talk. Was it? Or did she let Ice Cube? I don't know. My guys. His name is Gobble My Mobble. No, Gobble my nobble. What the fuck? Only 92.5. Carrie said, Johnny, I wasn't pumping it up on any day. Me either. Gobble said, all stations be playing the same 10 songs on repeat. And they've always done that. They've always done that. Straight top 40. Straight top 40. But like I said, somebody is listening to the radio because radio is still out and it must be doing well enough. They still have in-studio guests and, they get money. And it's still a very viable and important part of media. Gobble said wrong account. Oh, shoot, wrong account. Cool. All right, Carrie says, my mother listens to the radio and it sounds like she works in retail. My mom listens to the radio too. And I mean, they be playing some shit. But it be like these old school stations, so they playing songs that we already liked. They're not playing new songs. So I don't, but it's still radio. It's still radio. My people, Seka Sala. Seka Sala's in the house. Music videos was something you waited for, like going to the Blockbuster hoping the movie was there to watch. Man, you ain't never done lied, boy. I don't know. I mean, I hate to talk about our nostalgia like that was the only thing that was ever good in existence, but it was an experience. I don't know if these kids have an experience of anticipation the way we did. Like we waited for the release date of certain things, the release date of certain albums. We anticipated that shit like, yo, you know what I mean? This album is coming out. We waited for the Fear of a Black Planet by Public Enemy to come out. We waited for Doggy Style by Snoop Doggy Dogg to come out. We waited, this was a big deal. We waited to see the Michael Jackson Thriller video. Like, yo, they premiering this video. Remember when they premiered that shit on Friday Night Videos? And they did not play the whole video at that one time. They ain't gonna let 15 minutes of programming go through without commercials. That shit, Friday Night Videos, that show was ass. But we waited to see it. We waited to see it because that was our life right there. We was plugged in. Dimple says, but what I've learned, Power 99 is no more. The Breakfast Club took over. So there's no Power 99? It's just the Breakfast Club? That shit ain't on all day. He says radio station is not the same. Johnny West says, I'm old enough to remember recording tapes off the radio. Man, me and you the same. If we ain't the same age, we must be close. And Griefer says that a dick is in his mouth and it's hard for him to talk. But as soon as he finishes swallowing, then, he'll have something to say to add to the conversation. All right, well, I'll talk to you then. And, hey, tell the LGBTQ I said hi. Tell them I said hi. Because I know you know them. Where the fuck is the at? Okay, there we go.
You have a call from
Troy. Triz Money. What's good? Yo.
Hola.
Okay.
Hola,
all right.
papi.
I mean, it was like a delay there. Yeah, I had to make sure you was good. All right, hold up.
Video.
Hold on. Not yet. Carrie says,
Not yet.
you know, saying Johnny, I'm actually 8-track old. Oh shit. I don't even want to talk about that. That was not a good time. Sika Sala says buying a Nas CD and reading the lyrics while listening to it, nothing will ever be the same, man. You ain't never lied. Never lied. Like, this is how rhymes are written? Like, he wrote this shit. Johnny West says, I definitely had a tape of a song that I recorded with my mom yelling at me to take out the trash. Man. Yo, when I got a dual tape deck, I might as well have hit the lottery. When I got a dual tape deck, I was like, man, shit is never going to be the same. I have arrived. You know what I'm saying? You can kill me now. I'm good. I've done everything in my life I wanted to do. Troy.
Yo.
What the deal is, my dude? How you feeling?
Hey, what the deal is, yo? With the Yo Dilly, you know what it is, man. Video killed the radio star.
Yeah, well, I got schooled tonight because I did not know that song came out in 1979. I ain't know that shit.
Did.
I'm like,
right when MTV came out.
But it didn't make sense. Wasn't no videos jumping off like that in 1979. It wasn't like that. They wasn't.
It came out in 1979, but it wasn't popularized in 1979 like that until MTV came out and the videos started really popping on MTV.
I'm just saying.
Well, I agree with you.
We didn't have music videos like that in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? They had videos, but they was more like performance videos. They wasn't like, you know what I mean? They were
concert videos.
Yeah, they were performance videos. Like you would see them perform the song. It wasn't like, they had videos with like production and actors and a script, a line. It wasn't like that yet. Not yet. You had to wait at least like 2 years for that.
The first videos I seen was that video in our house in the middle of our street.
Nah, you saw videos before then.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying some of my favorite ones was that because it really wasn't, when videos really came out, it wasn't really that banging like that. But I'm talking about when you made a video, not a live performance video.
Yeah. Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts on that.
So I mean, yeah. So but shoot, I was just listening to you when you was talking about sitting down. The first time I ever dubbed a song and wrote the song down, me and my boy Maurice. I'm
gonna take my seat for this.
Company, so how you play your guitar. We was playing what was it? It's Like That, and That's the Way It Is.
So that was 83.
We wrote the whole song out.
That was 1983. Well, one of the good things about Run DMC is it was easy to understand their lyrics. You could easily write that down. You know what I mean? They were simple and plain, but they just made that shit hot. They did their numbers.
Yeah. No. It wasn't. Yeah. It's like that.
Yeah. They came out with Suck MCs first, then It's Like That, and then Hard Times. And then when they dropped Jam Master Jay, kick off your shoes, jump on the jog, listen to the Jam Master. He starts to rock. His name is Jay. I was like, yo, the beat was like stupid. I was like, yo, these cats got it. They got it.
That's when my mom bought me my first boombox. Bought me my first boombox. I was writing graffiti. My name was Frame. And I got me some spray paint markers and start hitting on my damn boombox. My name was Troy Raheem, like Radio Raheem, Radio Raheem.
Yo, all right. So this show is obviously going to be a little bit nostalgic, at least for some segments. But let me ask you this: from listening to the radio, growing up on the radio, what was the most frustrating thing to you about listening to the radio?
too many damn commercials.
Oh, okay. All right.
Too many damn commercials.
Mm.
But I understood why we needed commercials as I got older. But it was just too many damn ones because you know, like when Lady B was on Power 99, you don't want to hear no fucking commercials. Rock that motherfucking damn, rock that shit, Lady B, do your thing. You know what I mean? When that Weekend Jam came on, or that 12 o'clock, the 12 o'clock hour hit, and the lunchtime hits came on, you was like, please don't fuck this shit up. Let it just play through. You know, music that back in the day is not like music today. I mean, shit, I was working, right, one time this year. I think in January. Matter of fact, in December, January, one time I was listening to Power 99 and I thought it was Chris Brown 99.
Really?
Because that's all they played was Chris Brown songs.
Really?
Like, what the fuck is this Chris Brown station? Is this what's that Sirius XM shit?
Okay.
Power 99. I was like, God
that's
damn,
crazy.
Chris Brown?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, shit, back in the day, man, you had a variety of songs. Back in the day when that shit came on, I remember when I first really was deep in the radio, because, I mean, you learned, when you was a kid, you only learned songs from when you heard mom and dad and aunts, grandma, grandpops, they played these songs. But when you got to radio, and you heard that I am going to tell you about the baby, Murphy's Law, sure, I'll be, you was like, damn, this the shit. You start getting up dancing. Shit, my favorite dance track in South Philly, we was known to do the breakdown.
Okay.
And I killed that shit.
Johnny West said
radio was thorough. You know what I mean? You get good radio. But today, you know, it's like it just washed the fuck up somewhere.
Well, you know, we didn't have any other options besides the radio. We had radio, TV, and records. That was it. You know what I mean? I mean, live performances, yeah. But how did you find out about live performances? Radio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Johnny West says, remember when your batteries were dying and they played the song A Little Slow? Yeah.
Fucking chocolate screw.
Yeah. Yo, remember rearranging the batteries? Like, I think the strongest one is in the middle and the weakest one is in the front. You know what I mean? Switch. And it would work for about 5-10 minutes. Like, yo, hold up. Remember putting batteries in the freezer?
Yo, well, I'm getting ready to say the same damn thing.
Man.
Putting batteries in the freezer is like putting water in the ketchup bottle after you ran the fuck out.
Man. Like even a remote for TVs now run on solar power and shit, or you could just recharge them and shit. We went through we spent a small fortune on batteries and long distance. But hold on, you know what the most frustrating thing for me was with the radio? Trying to get those pirate stations that was playing that shit.
Oh yeah.
To come on, trying like, damn, it's mad stat. Yo, taping off a pirate station.
Yeah.
Mad static, and they was playing that shit you wanted to hear. The uncut version of Discombobulator, Boobulator. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, songs that wasn't even on the radio yet. The underground rap songs and shit. You know, they wasn't playing like Ultramagnetic MCs and all of that kind of stuff. They wasn't playing that on the radio yet. Yeah. You had to go, even Lady B, there was a lot of stuff that Lady B wasn't playing yet. And Lady B, for those of y'all who are not from the Philadelphia area, Lady B was the DJ. She was a female DJ who launched the first rap station or the first rap show on a radio station in Philly back in like 81, 82. So, you know, like she was definitely legendary. So he had these pirate stations. I remember one was out in West Philly. And if you was out in West Philly, you could get it clear. My brother had it clear. I tried to get that shit all the way in Germantown. That shit was, I taped that bitch anyway. I was like, look, they playing that shit. You know what I mean?
Trying to get the station, trying to get the fire station is like trying to get the station on the news station on UHF.
Hold up. Here's the 2.0. Trying to get New York stations on that shortwave radio shit. You thought you was the shit because you had shortwave stations on your boom box. Them shits was more steady. Them stations wasn't coming in. You wasn't hearing shit. It was mono and static. Static mono.
Brown shit. Static.
Man, I wanted Kiss FM so bad because New York had all of the first hip hop songs that came out. You know what I mean? You know, like my man was originally from Queens. My man that I went to high school with. So he let me hear Top Billing by Audio 2 way before it came out. Way before it came to Philly. So I was already on it. I was like he had his tape. I was like, what the fuck? What's this song? What's that song? And I was like, man, I got to get them stations. So I got the shortwave radio joint. Oh, talk about a waste of time, waste of money, waste of hopes and dreams. Yeah, that was static. Static was what I hated about the radio. Now they got HD radio. I'm like, ain't this about a bitch?
Yeah, that's the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The words, and then it was the even when you try to, you know, when you try to tape that shit, when you learned about tapes, because I remember back in the day, you can go buy the single song on a tape, a regular single on a tape. They had an A side and a B side cassette tape.
Oh, you talking about a cassingle?
Yeah, a cassette. That's a good one.
No, that's what they were called. They would literally call that.
I never heard, son, on my mama, I never heard a cassingle.
That is literally what they would call casingles. And I had many casingles, but I bought albums. But I remember I had the casingle of I Like the Way by the High Five.
Yeah, oh shit.
And they had that other hit on the other side. I was like, damn, then this is what I call a casingle.
I had a casingle too. I had a casingle from fucking Regina Bell. And this shit was so fucking good. A white boy, I lived to a white boy, never got it back from him. It was Make It Like It Was on A side, and on the B side it was You're a Special Part of Me. And You're a Special Part of Me was fucking thorough as shit, man.
Okay.
A casingle. I mean, them casingles hit the spot when you just wanted that one fucking song that you love to hear, bro.
But the thing is, casingle was equivalent to a 45.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was equivalent to.
True.
And then they came out with CD singles.
Yeah.
So, you know, all right, getting on the topic. Do music videos and radio matter anymore? Like, is the radio where we find new music or good music anymore? Because every time I listen to the radio, the stations that I hear people pumping are like old school stations. So they playing like shit that we already liked from the early 2000s or from the 90s, the 80s. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hear I'm just talking about me. I don't hear any new music. And it's probably because I don't depend on the radio anymore. But I'm sure that people do. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I think that it does its due diligence. You know what I mean? I think that it's cool. The radio is cool for what you want from it. You know what I mean? But even still, when you 55, when you are old head, you know what I mean, or an elder, you know, you really the music that you hear on certain stations, like we get, when we listen to here in Philly, we got DAS. You know what I mean? So most definitely, yes, I can listen to that all day. Power 99, I can't listen to all day. 103.9, I mean 100.3 The Beat, I can listen to that sometimes all day. But this new generation of music is ass.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So you have to resort to listening to old school music because at least it was more relevant. There's not a song out here today that you can. It's like, let's say 99.9% of the songs out here today does not have nothing to do with love. You know what I mean? And and when you do find a song that has something to do with love, it sounds like an old school song, like the Boy October in London.
Even R&B songs are not talking about love?
I haven't heard something that was like, see, I'm looking for, you know, some like old school shit. I mean, shit like how can I put it? Like fucking Major Harris. First time you heard a lady getting knocked off with a song. You know what I mean? Something that mom and dad, because a lot of times, when you listen to the radio, you know, you listen to the old school songs, son, you say to yourself, this is the type of shit mom and dad used to listen to when they got into arguments and made up.
No, here you go with this shit. Here you go with this shit. You know what I mean?
That's serious, son.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I'm telling you it's not.
You mean to tell me mom and dad got in an argument, they cursed each other out, dad went in there, blew off the dust off that fucking 45 and played Last Night, Me and My Woman. You mean to tell me mom didn't know he was apologizing?
In my house, that is not how apologies were done. I don't even know how that's not how arguments happen, and that's sure as fuck. My dad ain't never go to the radio. I ain't never seen my dad play a record. We had mad albums. I ain't never seen him put a record on. Now, when we rode in the car, he played tapes, but he ain't play no albums at the crib ever. Yeah, not that I saw.
My mom sat down, got her bottle of Canal wine, and the only time she got her Canal wine.
Hold on, hello? Kim calling in. Hold on.
Yeah.
You have a call from.
Go ahead, Troy.
She got her bottle of Canal wine. My mom always kept one pack of cigarette. One pack of cigarette for my mom will last a month.
Okay.
She get down on a Friday night. She get a Canal wine. Go to Church's Chicken. buy herself one platter. Get us some fucking Western sandwiches from the Chinese joint that I couldn't stand.
Mm.
And she would play her music.
Okay. My mom played music. My dad didn't play music. But when they argued, he did not. I ain't never see him. If he made up, they must have done that in private because it wasn't no publicized thing. You know what I'm saying? And they was fighting about real shit. Wasn't no song gonna fix that shit. They ain't had nothing to do with it, you know what I mean? They wasn't arguing about you ain't fill up the ice trays or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no song gonna fix that shit. But you know, I see what you saying, but nah. Nah. All right, but Kim, how you doing tonight? What's good?
I'm good. How are you?
Feeling like a real man should, you know.
Hey, Kim. Hey, family.
The Wills of Kim. Happy belated holiday.
Same to you. Same to you.
Turkey, turkey, jerky, turkey.
Not for me.
Okay, well, fish or Cornish hens.
I eat none of first. Ugh. Don't eat Cornish hens, gross. No, I had none of that. I had country fried steak.
Oh, okay.
Good for you.
That's funny because I would say that was gross. I swear. Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, did you happen to ride past 2300 Jackson Street when you was eating it?
So we do a cornball. Okay.
Yeah, but the radio, back in the day, radio, man, today's radio is obsolete because there's so much streaming services you can go through. You got the Sirius XM and all that shit. So today's radio is obsolete. But videos, when videos came out, oh my God, especially with...
Wait a minute, hold on. I want to get Kim involved in this conversation. So,
right.
So Kim,
Yes.
Do you think that radio and videos are kind of are played out, or do they matter? Do they have the same kind of impact today as they did before?
Radio's dead.
Radio is dead. You say radio is dead too, huh? Okay.
Not even a thing. Like, people don't even listen to the radio in the car too much anymore, for the most part. And even when you buy cars, they come as streaming services versus, what's needed to connect to a radio. So radio is dead. It's been dead for quite a while. And as we move forward, I don't see it lasting at all.
Well, why do so many radio stations still exist?
It's not as many that exist now that it was previously. It's not so many. It's not as many. It's a handful. And some of them exist because we still have boomers who exist. We still have radios that exist. And there are still some people who listen in their vehicles. However, they don't get as much play as they used to. We definitely aren't really listening to new songs on the radio. That's for sure.
Okay.
So, no, and there's still some people who listen. There's still rotation, but it's just not as much as it was before. We're in a different age. And as we progress forward, it's going to become even more obsolete, like most things. And you check, most radio stations are shutting their doors just because they can't sustain what they need to compete with this age, especially if they aren't tuned into what's going on in the digital space. Like my local radio station, they have the worst website on the planet, and nobody listens to them because they're like, who wants to go to this junk page?
Interesting.
So slowly they're starting to deplete their staff, and we know why, because eventually the station is going to be it's just going to be a bust. Now, as far as videos, I don't think videos are going to go as fast. They still exist. People still watch. I'm surprised because I listen to a lot of music and I listen through YouTube, but I don't watch the videos. I absolutely just listen. And I never turn and look at the video itself, not like I used to back in the day. Like, I have other life going on where I'm listening instead of watching. However, people still watch videos. Because there are some songs there I'm always shocked, like, dang, that had a video. Song's about 5 years old. I'm just now seeing the video for the first time. And it's because I don't watch. But I think that's an age thing. Like, I don't think baby boomers, Gen X, I don't even think some of the millennials are watching videos. It might be the Gen Z and whatever the new people in this space are, whatever theirs is called, I don't remember. Nano, whatever they are. They may watch videos, but I don't think Gen X, millennials, boomers are watching, not as much anyway. Because we still have life to live, and the millennials are now moving into the adult space, and they don't have time either to just sit and watch videos. But I do believe they still exist. And they fit in a digital space. You can pull videos up on YouTube. You can pull them up on the television. Those kind of people can watch them on their phone. I think that makes a difference too. Whereas with radio, who the fuck is listening to a radio on their cell phone? So,
well, I don't know. I think we'd probably be surprised at a lot of things that are still around. I know in Philly, radio is still a thing. You know, many of our, like you listen to Troy talking, he's speaking about radio stations that have been around for 40, 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? WDAS Power 99 came out in like 1982, and it's still going. So you know, like it may not. I don't think that they have the same impact as they did before, but because viral radio does so much streaming along with their radio broadcasting, then, you know, I think that that's helped them stay afloat. And they still have that's still a good way for artists to promote their shit, whether they started out on the internet or not. Getting on the radio is still a great way to get exposure and they have people listen to your shit and get and let your listening public get to know you more. So I wouldn't say I know that it's not like it was before because we didn't have any options before, but it's still a viable option. And at least in my city, it's not dead. And I know in New York, radio is still strong as fuck. So,
you know, I mean, I do agree that radio still does have its need. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that it's irrelevant. I'm just saying with me, it's not relevant as hard as it was because, like DAS, every time you turn around, they're changing how with the music. Back in the day, DAS never played rap music.
They had the Mimi show.
Yeah, no, but that was just a Mimi show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But normally they would just play straight R&B, old school R&B. Now you can see them without a Mimi show playing Biggie. You know, playing certain songs. You be like, they playing this shit on DAS now? You'd be shocked. But normally, when they play the Total song, Can't You See, they would just play the Total part.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, they play the Biggie part too. Give me all the chicken in from Pasadena to the you'd be like, what the fuck is the shit now?
Well,
but you'd be like, you know, you got so used to just hearing old school R&B and, you know, or R&B that's mature, you know, that you don't want to hear. I hate breaking the norms of something that was good when I was a kid, man. Sometimes I hate breaking that type of norm because it's nostalgic to me.
I mean, you know, I understand what you're saying, but even as a kid, I was loyal to WJS because it was black owned. But then after it wasn't black owned anymore, it became just like a regular station to me. But I mean, you know, but yeah. Ugh. I don't even want to get into that. But
look at it now. Let's think about it. We were younger. We didn't have as much. Like, we didn't have as much technology as these people have now. So
not at all. We didn't have those options.
We had to rely on the radio for music. We had to rely on the radio to know what's new coming out. You don't need to rely on the radio anymore for that. You don't need the radio to listen. You don't need the radio to hear what's coming out new. Not to mention, when you step outside of the radio, which is FCC protected, then you get to hear the uncut version, various versions, different covers, different mixes, longer versions than you're going to get on the radio. That's another difference too. And you can listen without some of the commercial interruptions as well.
Well,
my fault, son. Go ahead, bro.
No, well, I was going to say that's another thing. Like there were always people who relied on the radio for new music and you know, to kind of keep their ear to the streets as far as pop culture was concerned. But I didn't. You know, I haven't listened to the radio like that since the 80s. Because I really didn't like the radio that much because they didn't play what I thought that they should play. And because I bought so many albums when I started working, I bought so many albums and tapes and all of that kind of stuff. I didn't rely on the radio. So while people were still listening to the radio, like I knew all the songs that they played on the radio, but I was like, that's not the song that should be released as a single. I had the album and I always listened to the whole album. So I would be like, that song is ass. I wasn't saying that back in the day, but I was saying I would have said it was whack or it was corny. Like the real songs was the ones I was playing as far as I was concerned. So I know I wasn't the only one doing that. You know, so if we look at the majority, yeah, we're gonna say that radio was the really kind of like the only place we could find new music. But then you had outliers like me and some other people that I knew, and we were definitely the minority. But you know, we may have people like me may have played a role in giving other people alternatives because I let people listen to my shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so you know, it's just hard to say that one thing isn't anything anymore when I know it still exists. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying like nobody uses the post office anymore. You know what I mean? We use FedEx and UPS. I'm like no, I use the post office.
I use a post office, yeah.
And it's better.
I'm not saying nobody uses them anymore, but they are definitely fading, and they don't have as much weight and girth as they had previously.
No. I know that they don't have the same kind of impact, but I question whether they are diminishing altogether. I don't know if there's going to be a day when there's no more radio. I don't see that being a time, because just like who wrote that in the comments about NPR? Oh, NPR and sports. Radio is good for that. And radio, as far as sports are concerned, radio is as good as the internet. And news, it's as good as the internet. Now, you may look at it like, well, on the internet, you get a lot of independent channels and stuff like that. But you have to also question their integrity and their reliability. Like, do these motherfuckers? I mean, I'm like with politics. I listen to political shows all day, and they be looping the same beef that we had with the with network TV and all of that. They looping the same shit. They all talking about the same shit. So you listen, you look at TV and viral radio, and you hear them playing the same songs or recycling the same stories. And then you go to the internet and they doing the same thing. They just repackaging it. How many times do I have to go to the Midas Touch and hear them act like Donald Trump, like the GOP is finally falling and Donald Trump is dead? Oh yeah, he's sick this time, and he don't be sick as shit when you go listen to the shit. So I'm like, propaganda on viral radio, propaganda on the internet. Like, which one is reliable? Is there such thing as reliable propaganda? Now, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way I look at it. You know, I'm not saying that I'm right about it or whatever, but everything has its place. Yeah.
You know, but when you sit back and you think about you also mentioned videos. I mean, back in the day when we was young, I know when I was young, shit, video had his place. You know, video can bring out some emotions through song that you wouldn't normally get out of the song because you're looking at people acting out the video. But you also got the newest dances in that video that you practice with the damn song because you had the opportunity to see the people doing the dances.
Yeah.
But they don't need video for that anymore. That's where they get that from: social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that. They don't need videos for that anymore.
But back in the day, I'm talking about when we were young. When we were young, when video came out, you shit, what would you know how to do the WAP? You go over the fucking video and you see a video, you're like, that's the WAP right there. Let me do that shit. Let me practice. I'm gonna kill him at the fucking house party with this shit.
That's funny. See, Troy, I didn't learn how to dance on no videos. That's funny.
I didn't learn how to dance on videos, but it was certain videos that showed me other dances. Like when you seen Heavy D and the boys and Mr. Big Stuff, I wanted to do that. I wanted to do them dances, the New York dances.
No, I understand. But like you was talking about the WAP. I learned the WAP around the way. Like before I saw it in any video. As a matter of fact, the way we did.
I learned the WAP from my boys from New York. I didn't learn the WAP from nobody from Philly.
I learned the WAP after midnight, literally. Like I really learned it from my brother, because he was a dance fanatic too. You know what I'm saying? And but
from my cousins just hanging out.
But all I'm saying is
the Running Man, the Cameo, the Heel Toe, the Fila, all this shit that I learned from either people that I was around or from the music videos. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
the relevancy was there back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was then, but it isn't now. The thing about it is, and this is for any business, if they don't become either fully digital or a hybrid, they won't stand a chance as we progress forward. So for the radio stations that choose not to join the pack or become a hybrid, they are going to deplete. That's just the reality. They can't compete. You know, in this digital space with streaming and all of that, they just can't compete as a standard radio. They just can't.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean about the way that the direction that media is going into. I don't question that. I just don't know if just like we can say that DVDs and CDs don't matter anymore, but we still have people who like to play CDs and DVDs. So it's not when there was a time when those were the only options. Because remember when they stopped selling tapes and they stopped selling cassette tapes and vinyl. So they created a situation where CDs were your only option. They did that. They didn't ask us if that's what we wanted. Because we still like tapes and records. And they knew it too. But they manipulated a way for us to buy what they wanted us to sell, because CDs cost more than records and tapes. So the same thing, I'm not so sure that the same thing doesn't exist when it comes to these streaming services and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, we like the convenience of being able to hear our favorite songs whenever we want to hear them. That's great. But there are still people who have stacks and stacks, hundreds or thousands of CDs, and they still listen to them. I'm one of those people, and I'm not alone. I still have a CD player in my car, and I insist on it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's easy for us to, look at look at the direction that things are going in today, and calculate and sometimes extrapolate that that's the way it's going to be in the future. But just like I don't buy that there won't be any human labor in the future, only robots, I don't buy that radio will ever be totally dead. I don't see.
Well, there's going to be a need for radio. Depends, like if anything major should happen, there's a need for radio. You know what I mean? But when you're talking about entertainment wise, I just feel as though the music, the music alignment of things, the importance of radio from back in the day is somewhat obsolete, but it's still a need for it.
Well, let me ask you this, Troy. You say that there's a need for it. Is there a want for it?
No, not so much. Not so. Some people is a want for. I say maybe 20% is a want for, but 80% of people there's not a want for it, because when you have so many other options, that you can switch. You can come in the job and you can do some Wi-Fi shit or Bluetooth shit and all that stuff, and you can do all that and play your own damn music commercial free. Then it changed everything. Streaming services changed everything.
And I think, okay, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, there's a need for it. First you want to get information. First, certain information or something should happen. Because technology is not always, even with technology being out there, it is prone to problems. So I mean, when the problems occur, the radio is going to give you information. Listen, there's a problem with this, or there's a problem with that. You know what I mean? Certain things you heard on the radio, you was like, damn, you can't hear things on streaming services and shit like that. The importance of the news that you need. So I mean, well, you do because they put those emergency alerts on your phone, on all your devices. So it still has that benefit, but I still think that son, that's local.
No, it's not. That's not local. It's not local. I know what you mean, but you can actually change your settings so you can get national alerts too. It depends on the severity of the national alert. So like if there's ever a 9/11, trust me, you're going to get a national alert.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, but even if it is only a 20% want, that 20% is still a want. And the only reason I bring up the whole thing about whether there's a need for it or a want for it is because people want what they want. Like everybody isn't internet friendly or knows how to drag a song or copy and paste or transfer or forward somebody. Everybody doesn't know how to do that. And we can say that, yeah, you behind in the times, and they may be behind in the times. But just because you know how to first of all, I know the full functionality of my cell phone. I'm not paying no $1,200, $1,400 for no device that I don't know how to use, but people do. I know plenty of people who can't even go answer a call on the other line and come back successfully. I know people, and they ain't old like that.
I do too.
I mean, there are plenty of people out there like that. Not everybody wants to be a techie type of person. Not everybody they don't care about that. And that's why, but they'll just turn on the radio. Like, this is easy. I'm turning the radio on, turn it to a station. If it's a song there I like, I'll keep it there. That's the kind of convenience that exists for them. For us, maybe convenience is, man, I can find this song that I haven't heard in so long. I can Google it. I can, go to a streaming service or whatever. I can listen to it for free on YouTube or something like that. Yeah, that's convenient for us, but that's not the convenience for everybody. Everybody has their own platform. We've chosen ours, but we can't just turn a blind eye to other people who have chosen theirs. So when I talk about whether, or when I ask, or whether when we ask whether radio and videos matter anymore, we know that with videos, us Gen Xers being raised on those music videos, those things were everything. They were more than just a way for us to, watch TV or listen to music. They were the way that we connected to artists. So when we ask, do videos matter anymore? Just because videos aren't on TV for us to watch like we did back in the day anymore, or that might not be where we look for them, artists still make videos. All of them. And we watch those videos where we watch them. And they make those videos because those videos connect them to their audience. And they make money from that. So that's whether their video is being premiered on a TV station or whether they upload it on a streaming service or a platform like YouTube or whatever, they still have a video. Or whether they put it on their social media, they still have a video. So I think videos still matter as much as they did before. It's just that now we don't have to necessarily, artists can make their own videos. They can take their iPhone or they Android or whatever, and if they know anything about editing, they can make a pretty decent video with a program. So it may not exist in the same way that it did before, but if you open up your mind about what's going on, you might see that it's still relevant to a high degree. Like I might have bought 2 pounds of cherries over here instead of over there, but it's still 2 pounds of cherries. What up, Mia Cunningham? Was good. And Maria Ramirez, Señorita Ramirez, was good. So yeah, for me, I would say that they still matter. But I understand the argument that they don't have a big impact anymore.
Like where else would you hear something about Top Dog Law?
And what?
Top Dog Law.
It's some law firm. I don't know if they.
It's a law firm. It's national. It's national.
I think it is national.
They have a terrible commercial.
Oh damn! You got this. You Top Dog Law. Ain't this about a mission?
What else have you heard about Top Dog Law? I'm just telling you, boy.
Well, now it comes on streaming services.
It ain't like, but it ain't like on the radio, boy. When you hear that shit on the radio, and the boy be telling the story, you be like, what the fuck? And when you know the guy that told the stories for Top Dog Law was also telling stories about the fucking go-go bar.
All right, let me just turn this station when that come on. Who wants to hear that crap?
I mean, that's funny as shit.
It is.
It be cracking me up because it come at a time when you need a good laugh, and I'll be like, "What the fuck? Have you ever been and on your way to work you got hit by a car, and then when it took you was on your way to then you get in an ambulance, and then an ambulance got hit by a car, and it knocked you off the back? That's when you need Top Dog Law." I'm like, what the fuck?
No, I don't.
So that's what you need.
My thing is any accident lawyer can get you paid. Those cases easy as fuck. You know what I mean? You don't see them asking you, yo, did you get fired from your job unjustifiably? And they trying to say that that you did something that you didn't do and they let you go. Because you know why they don't advertise that? Because you gotta pay for that shit. It ain't based on whether they win. That accident shit ain't nothing but them contacting the defendant's insurance company. That shit easy. They just send you to the doctor a few times and shit and bully the defendant's insurance company. You know what I mean? And that's how you get paid. That accident lawyer shit is bullshit. When you need real legal representation, it ain't no we only get paid if you win. No, you gonna retain me. You paying me up front. I need 15 stacks up front. And then I can make a call for you.
That's the truth.
You know what I mean? That's why those commercials be. That's what I be thinking about when I listen to those commercials. Like, you full of shit. I ain't been in no motherfucking accident, but I've been shitted on, and it was on purpose. I need on purpose legal representation. Fuck this accident lawyer shit.
Shit it on law.
You know what I mean? There you go. There you go.
Shit it on law.
You know, the fucking landlord put you out, and you paid the rent. We're the ones you call. Like, no,
shit it on law.
It's a straight up fee for that. All right. Well, let me ask y'all this. So back on the subject that we talking about now for today's artists. You know how, like, back in the day there were some musical groups, and not just rap groups, who sold a lot of records without radio airplay. So do you think that today's artists could blow up or do their thing or be successful without social media? And that's actually, I think that's the poll question. Could today's artists survive without social media the way some artists survive without radio?
Oh no, I don't think so. I think today's artists, because they're presenting in this type of space, I don't think, and we're talking about the new one, I don't think they would know how to lead into this next era without the social media piece, because that's how it came to be.
What do you think, Troy?
Well, I can agree on that. I don't think like I think that in order for you to really blow up, you need social media. You know, because I mean, people, you know, if you're not going out independent, even if you're going out independent, you know, distribution companies and people like that even want to see if you have a large following. You know, so they look at the demographics of who's following you, or they look up how many subscribers you got to your page, music wise. Like, you remember MySpace? You know how many people blew up off of MySpace?
They definitely got it popping. It was a very good platform.
A great platform for music. You know, so I mean, that alone has opened the door for other platforms to be a great platform. Like, what is it?
SoundCloud?
Yeah, SoundCloud. SoundCloud is just another version of fucking MySpace, you know, with the music part. You know, because it was so relevant. There's a lot of relevancy with your music in the internet. You know, so I mean, they need the internet to blow up more. Back in the day, you had to put the work in. You had to go to black groups had to go through the Chitlin circuit, or they had to, you know, you really had to put the work in. You know.
Okay, but on the Chitlin circuit and all of that, you know, you were probably doing that without radio airplay.
Yeah, you were doing it without radio. Yeah, most definitely. So I mean, but you put the work in and you develop the following. You develop the following where, so when your record was played on the radio. I mean, that's why Motown always hit. It always went on them darn you know, those Motown reviews, because they wanted to develop a following, so when they did put the music out, people would know who it was. You know. I mean, I agree with there's a difference between back in the day, but even without radio, you would still be able to. Back in the day, you'd be able to pop because you went on them circuits, or you went on small tours or hit small venues, and you developed a following through the small venues. So radio was good, but you can pop underground. You don't even know. You can just even talking about how he was even trying to get to the underground radio stations, you know. And the underground radio stations was already developing followings. You know, already popularizing certain groups or certain songs, or you know, like one of my favorite artists, Billy Ocean. You know.
Oh Lord. What do you think? What do you think, Kim?
What's the question again? I'm sorry.
Do you think that today's artists could create a buzz or be successful without social media?
I thought I already answered that. I said no.
Oh, okay.
I said, oh, well, I didn't go into detail like Troy. No, they can't. Oh, I did go into detail because I said they're born into this type of promotion. They're born into this type of presenting their music. And as we progress forward, if it came to a halt, listen, remember when they were talking about shutting down TikTok, a lot of them just lost their shit, didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So just imagine if all social platforms just came to a halt one day, even the days there are blackouts with Instagram and Facebook or Meta, they don't know how to operate. So if all of these things shut down, if they shut down for 14 days, 2 weeks, I don't think some of these new artists would know what to do because they rely heavily on the digital space to promote. Mm-hmm. But I'm not knocking them. I mean, you do what you do for the time they fit. But I don't think a lot of them would be successful without this digital space. I don't think they could handle some of the things the older artists went through back in the day. Like they definitely celebrate and shout out people like Lauryn Hill and Master P and Nas and all them, but I don't think they would be. They don't have the nuts to get out here and handle what they all endured. They're not prepared for that. They didn't have to come up in a struggle. They didn't have to get out there and sell CDs out of cars. They didn't have to get out there and hunt for it. They didn't have to go on bad runs. They didn't have to perform at places where they weren't getting paid. They didn't have to do radio interviews in person where they had to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning. They don't have to do those things. They can roll over and get on a podcast at any time. And sometimes it's pre-recorded, so they don't have to do shit.
Well, even with podcasting, that's not social media.
It is considered social media.
Okay.
So it's like this. When you let's say when let's just use Mary Johnson or something. Mary Johnson, the singer. Mary Johnson of today she don't even have to go on the road for people to see her. She can just get up, dial her face up, and put the makeup on, do her hair and everything, throw her lashes on, find a beat on YouTube or find a great beat and just sing over that beat. And then put it right out there on YouTube or her YouTube page or SoundCloud or TikTok, and people will notice it. Oh, she sounds good as shit.
That's true. There's a young lady now who go ahead, Troy, sorry.
I was looking at this young lady, right? She plays the harp, right? And I'm looking at her, and she's playing the harp but she's playing other instruments to Missy Elliott's song, "I Can't Stand the Rain." But she's playing the harp she's playing on the harp, "I Can't Stand the Rain." But she stops and then she edited with, so you can see her playing other stuff and playing other stuff. But the harp is the focal point. And I was like, that's unique as shit. Mm-hmm. That's unique as shit because, like I told son before, I told him my nephew, right, is he sings opera. And I had told my nephew, I said, yo, if you go out there and you just sing old school music and old school rap in an opera form, you might develop a big following because there's a need for something different. And he laughed at me. I said, okay, watch what happens. And that's the thing about it. If you just put something out there and let society hear it, and if it sounds good, people are going to gravitate to it. You know, and it's easy to do it now than it is to do back in the day because the technology wasn't there. You had to really bust your ass. You know what I mean? You really had to put the damn work in.
I was going to say, there's a young lady now, I don't even know what her name is, but she blew up just being on like Instagram and TikTok. Singing, she did a cover of other people's songs and changed it a little bit to whatever story she was trying to tell. She responded to whatever song was out and changed the lyrics in a response to that song. And now she's like doing tours and stuff and having concerts and getting it open for some of those artists just from her being on social media. And she's a talented young lady. There's no doubt about that. Just open an opportunity for her to get out there and make a space, or a space for herself.
Like, son, I'm gonna give you a prime example. If MC Breeze had technology, if MC Breeze had the technology we had today, that boy would be like even more legendary.
Maybe not. Because
I think he would.
still have I still have a lot of faith in pounding the pavement.
Well, I mean, I can understand that. Pounding the pavement is a focal point, but I'm just saying technology puts you out there to the masses.
It does, but not everybody gravitates to everybody's pages and some people just can't get it popping like that. I mean, and it's not a knock on them, them personally or their talent or whatever, but not everybody makes it on social media. Some just don't. That's just not that's not the way that they get themselves out there. Some people, are able to sell CDs and shit like that right out of their trunk or whatever. And they might start out as a local favorite. Like look at go-go music. Go-go music has been stuck in the DMV from its inception to now. No internet, no national radio play, and all of that has brought it out of the DMV. And guess what? They good. They good with that. So you got local go-go bands that been eating for 40 years or more. Chuck Brown had international hits with the Bustin' Loose and all that. But guess where his real money was coming from? He was the king of the DMV. And he remains that even in his death. EU, when they time and the sun was done, they still getting paid down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, we don't think about it unless we go there, but you go to places like Maryland, Eastern Shore and all of that, they still eating. Maryland is a little ass state until you start driving in it. Because it's coastal, and you find that go-go shit is heavy. Like you think go-go sound only one kind of way until you go down there and you realize, like, you be like, this is considered go-go? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I only use that example to highlight that you can still, depending on what you call success. Yeah. For me, success is being able to feed my family, have some money left over to shop and have fun. That's success for me. So if I can do that, with low 6 figures, high 5 figures, whatever it takes, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that you still eating, you have to kind of make the decision about whether you would rather blow up and not be able to eat at all because your shit just died, or whether you would like to just bubble locally. I mean, think about it. DC, Maryland, and Virginia. That's 2 states and a province, right? So Virginia big. You know what I'm saying? It's a big state. You start going all the way down like, you know, Virginia Beach, Newport News, Norfolk, and you know, Portsmouth and all of that shit. Hampton and all, you know, and that's far away. So I'm saying all this to say that you can still eat, you can still make money, even without a record. So I don't know if these internet cats know that, but you can be put in a situation where you're forced to learn it. Somewhere somebody is still paying for piano lessons for their kids, and they making them go. Even if it's just for the fact that they had to do it when they was younger. My grandmother made me practice 4 hours a day after school, and you gonna get it in at least 2.
My twins was getting guitar lessons and piano lessons and drum lessons. That's
what it is. So you understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
I can understand. But that's like I was saying, I agree. I do understand that there are still younger people that's willing to pound the street, because sometimes it's always good just to be in front of people performing. The live performance thing in front of people can put you out there just as much. But if you really don't want to do that live performance shit and you just want to get noticed, the internet's right there. You know, the internet's right there. Like today, in comedy, a lot of these boys that do comedy, some of them I've seen, some of them have never been on stage, but they started on YouTube by doing sketch comedy. And then they go out and start doing comedy rooms because they developed a following.
Yeah, man. That damn comedy troupe I used to roll with called Comic Energy. I mean, they was totally ass, but he kept pushing and pushing. Them motherfuckers got on TV multiple times.
Yeah, you see? And that's the thing about it. You see the development of people that put the work in and continuously put the work in, and they use the internet to be to add to what they can do. You know, but some comedians don't never been on a stage to do comedy, but they've done so much sketch comedy that they feel as though they can go on the stage now. And a lot of comedians that just never done sketch comedy frown upon them. Like, how the hell you want to sit up there thinking you're a comedian and you ain't really put the work in? Well, you got a million damn subscribers. I mean,
well, you remember Dane Cook?
Yeah.
That motherfucker comedy was ass. And that motherfucker was filling up stadiums.
Filling them up. Especially the college venues.
Right. And all because he had a website. He got the website popping for comedians.
Yeah.
So he just took an idea and ran with that shit, and it more than worked. He wasn't funny for shit. That motherfucker would be equivalent to like how you go you check out people live on YouTube. You go to somebody room, somebody platform, and you see thousands of motherfuckers in there, and this motherfucker ain't doing shit but reading a book. And they commenting.
And it's amazing. You be like the comedian, what's his name? Ryan, I forgot his name. Ryan Davis. I was looking at him on the internet. I know you already knew he was a comedian, but him doing his small shorts, just like you do your shorts, he does his small shorts. And them motherfuckers were so funny that when he developed such a big audience that when he did comedy, people came out to see him because of them small shorts and how funny he was from them. And he does nothing but add to his comedy. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you know, some comedians back in, like Teray told me, he was like, Troy, he told me back in the day, son, he was like, you know, you're a cook. I don't know why you're a chef, Troy. Why don't you just add the comedy and do a cook show by doing comedy? I ignored that shit. Now motherfuckers doing that. You know, I remember vividly so much that I seen before people even started doing this. I was going to my boy Gordon. That was like a manager to me. I was like, Gordon, I'm telling you, what we should do is act out the comedy that I'm doing on stage. You know, if I'm talking about something, we need to act that out. He didn't believe in me in thinking that way. And I even got my cousin on board for it. But see, that's the thing about it. Nobody believes in the dream until the dream happens with somebody else, and he's like, "Damn, Troy, you did bring that up." I mean, I wanted to rent a fucking school bus, or just rent a bus, a school bus, or whatever bus I can rent, ride on Brewer Street and call it the afterward comedy hour on the bus. Make some lunch meat sandwiches and chips and soda and charge $20, $15, $20. Get on the bus and have a comedy show. Have a small band on the damn bus. Ray J doing it.
You have people doing that everywhere.
You see what I'm saying? And this was way before anybody thought about doing it. I thought about it, but when you don't put the work in, somebody else jumps on it and thinks different. You know, so I mean, at the end of the day, I can understand where you coming from with you really can pound in the streets. But you also can make it, doing the not pound in the street, and some people make it like that. Some people do. Some people can give off good face, meaning they're nice looking, they handsome, they beautiful, and they can just get on there and just sing a song and be like, they're remarkable. You know, they're remarkable. Like the Bull Ride Wave. You heard of him, son, right?
No.
Well, that's my daughter listens to she. Well, I'm telling you, she in love with him. Big heavy set bull. Can sing his ass off. He got a chip. When his last CD came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the top 100, he had 7 songs in the top 100. Just came out. And I was like, because I was looking at it and I was going down the top 100. I was like, God damn. Because I heard of him. My daughter's always listened to him, And I'm like, and then I listened to a couple of songs. Like, the bull is really good. But he's a heavy set bull.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's the dark skinned bull from Drew Hill. The heavy set dark skinned bull.
Okay.
So the fact that he can sing washes all that heavy setness away. It makes him a good looking heavy set bull.
So it didn't wash all the heavy setness away then.
My mind was trying to calculate that really well, but I'm like, oh, okay. It's not.
Because when you had the bull, the heavy set rapper bull that's walking around with his, not Rick Ross, Boss, whatever, walking around with his shirt off. And he just walks around with the heavy, big ass, thick chain on, big pendant. He'll go to in a vest on, and he'll go to sneaker things, the sneaker con, and he'll go shopping with his shirt off and just a vest on and his chain on.
Okay.
But when you got millions and you got a following, I guess you can do that.
Well, that's the thing. If you hot, you hot. So, the internet is the, and this is just my opinion, it's the fastest way to blow out, but blow up, but it's also the fastest way to burn out.
Yes, it is. Exactly.
So I don't think that every artist needs social media in order to blow or in order to be successful. It's just that you're going to have to accept that the other way is it may take a little bit more time. But you may also gain a better perspective on this on show business and things like that. And that's not to say that you won't blow up on social media later on. You know what I'm saying? But it's been done it's been done by artists, back in the day who didn't get played on the radio. They just found they found their audience, and they were able to sell their records to their audience and get recognition and shows and things like that. They was able to eat. Now, as an industry standard, without an album or a record, you ain't supposed to get paid. Nobody's supposed to pay you. That's the difference between music and comedy. In comedy, you could be doing comedy for 2 weeks, 1 week. Your first time on stage, and somebody might pay you if they think that you funny and that you brought people, and you already getting paid. It's not like that with music. It's not like that with music.
I think I got my first $50 from you.
It might have been. You know what I mean? It might have been. Comedy was one of those things in show business where you can get paid immediately. Whereas with music, you ain't got no representation. Motherfuckers will book you to open up for somebody, and that'll be on you. The gas, the instruments, transportation, you know what I'm saying? Storage for your shit and all of that. And you ain't getting nothing. Not even free drinks at the bar.
That's why some of them choose to stream, because they can. They can get behind a paywall and make the money they would miss on the stage if they're not invited out. If they grow a viral audience and they put enough content out there, they can make that money and not have a care in the world about it. They do. Because that gives them an opportunity to use other things like affiliate marketing, like promotion, like collaboration, like using influencers, all these different things for them to make that money they would make on the stage, opening for somebody times 10. And a lot of them are doing that.
Yeah.
So that's why they're opting out of that. These new people, I'm not saying they're more creative, but they know how to get in these creative spaces and create a revenue, create income for themselves in ways unimaginable, especially when they are in the industry. When it comes to being a comedian or acting or music, they have found a way. They do. And hats off to them. Each generation brings something new into this space. Mm-hmm. And I'm here for it. And I love that they have that ideal, but also on the other side, everybody's not built for it. A lot of them are not built for what comes with that virality. They complain and fuss about it because as easy as it is for somebody to say, oh, you're the greatest, one little mishap, one little hiccup, and they catch it on camera, and that could ruin them. So it goes both ways, and some of them are going in without any kind of PR. Like the little, what is her name? I can't think of the young lady's name. And at first I was like, she is so embarrassing and ridiculous. But now I have so much empathy for her. She was not built for this kind of life, this industry, being in the limelight. She was not built for it. And one day she was on camera just crying. It was horrific. She was crying from her soul, and she's like, I don't want to be famous anymore. I don't want people to know and it just broke my heart, because I'm like, this is a young lady who was not built for this. She stayed in front of the camera. She went viral. I don't know if her music was good or not, because I never really got to hear it because she was doing so many other antics. And she was involved with a relationship with a guy who was cheating on her and mentally abusive, and they were just toxic for each other. But they stayed constantly in that space, and and I guess he's a rapper or something, blue somebody. He a rapper or whatever. She was rapping too, and her whole world just fell apart being in this space, being in the public eye, being viral. So again, it's not built for everybody, and that's the industry, period.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for everybody. We look at some of these artists we've seen just fall, like Lil Wayne. Look at where he is now. Like, nigga, you did too much of the scissor and everything else you was doing. That may not have been for him. That life may have not been for him.
He's still popular.
He is, but I'm just saying. Look at him now. Think of his health now. He is a mess.
He's always been ugly.
Well, I ain't coming to short, you know, my cousin thought it was something about him that was fine, and I was like, girl.
Listen, I heard them chicks. I heard chicks say it too. I'm not trying to hear it. That he was an ugly ass little boy. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
He is still an ugly grown man. He is a man.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna let the industry try to tell me what's handsome and what's pretty. You know what I'm saying? I know what my eyes know.
Yeah.
But hold on, I want to say some of y'all. Now I need y'all to try to follow me closely with this. Y'all know how on car windshields it's like it doesn't shatter. You know what I mean? Like before, when cars first were manufactured, like a rock or something could shatter your windshield.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Somebody throw a brick through your shit, it would literally, shatter your whole windshield. So they took these young engineers straight out of college and told them that they needed a shatterproof windshield. They never told them that it hadn't been done before or that it couldn't be done. Mm-hmm. They told them, listen, we need a shatterproof windshield. So that, they said, okay, like, what can we do to make sure that the windshield wouldn't shatter? And that's how they came up with the two panes of glass with the plastic in the middle, to make it shatter resistant. Had they told them that nobody else had done it before, who knows if they would have done it or came up with it. So it's this, I'm saying this to say that when you are young, or even if you're not young, when something is new to you, so you're young in that game, sometimes a little ignorance might take you far. So if you don't know that you need the internet, you may not try to use the internet or rely on the internet, I should say. You may rely on what you knew before or what you think is best going forward.
Right.
So, as we're talking about this whole, can you be successful without social media, or do radio and TV matter? Radio and videos matter anymore. The same way that, Troy, you was talking about how you still got piano lessons and what was the other lessons that you got for your boys?
Guitar, piano, and drum lessons.
Yeah, you believed in the basics of music, and you evidently you believe that they should be well-rounded and musically inclined, and maybe they'll find an instrument of their choice and do something with it. Maybe you broadening their horizons and giving them options to stay off of this, to be lured into the street. You right? All right. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if other artists haven't been raised that way or don't see it that way. at the same time, I mean, you know, I remember my baby brother when, you know, he raps too. All my brothers pretty much used to rhyme at some point. And he was good. But he really believed that he needed to sell drugs or basically live the lyrics in order to validate himself in the game. Now, who told him that shit? Because it wasn't us. You understand what I'm saying? So, huh?
The music?
No, I don't think the music. I know the music didn't teach him that. His peer group probably reinforced that. You know, because we knew for a fact. I mean, we ain't talking about. My baby brother ain't like in his 20s now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He in his 40s now. So it was plenty of groups out there that wasn't in the streets that was successful. You know, you still had the Tribe Called Quest and the De La Souls and you know what I mean? You know, plenty of artists. Even Onyx. Onyx didn't say nothing about selling no drugs. They was just little angry motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we fight and we shoot and all of that, but it's really over nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go reassess them songs.
I'm just saying.
I know I might have had a couple sprinkles of smoking weed in it. I know that.
Smoking weed and selling weed is totally different.
Well, I'm just like when you talking on that aspect. I remember I went to Virginia Beach, right? Me and all my boys, all of us went down there for the Greek picnic. So we went to the movies, right? And we went to go see the movie, The Show. You remember The Show?
Yeah, definitely.
Biggie sat down and he sat there and said, yeah, I smoke a lot of weed because it opens my mind. It helps me write my rhymes and this, that, and other. All of a sudden, everybody's smoking weed. I've seen people that used to write that just wrote raps start smoking. I'm like, yo, when you start smoking weed? Well, Biggie said it opens your mind for self-expression. I'm like, what the fuck? What?
That I'm gonna tell you something. That movie, The Show, came out in 1995. Yes, trust me, every damn rapper that was rapping from the 80s until 95 was already smoking weed. Every rapper knows that when you smoke weed, it's easier for you to write rhymes. It's easier for you to say them. If you couldn't freestyle or come off the head sober, you start smoking weed and you can do that shit easily. And I can attest to that.
I know about maybe 3 or 4 people that wasn't smoking weed that was like, I gotta try this.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this.
I mean, I believe what you're saying.
No. I'm gonna tell you like this. Biggie was one of the first artists around that time that made it sound like it was cool. You know what I mean? To smoke. He definitely wasn't the only one. I mean, we was talking about
he wasn't the only one.
Drinking, but you gotta think like
he just had a platform to say it on.
Well, I mean, he came after Cypress Hill and all of that, so he didn't reinvent the wheel. Plenty of motherfuckers had already validated smoking weed. The album Necrotic came out 4 years before the show came out. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't, it wasn't no eureka moment. Motherfuckers been smoking weed. But the thing is, you gotta understand that was a movie and who knows how many takes. You know what I'm saying? That shit wasn't live. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they chopped that shit up. You don't know, we don't have no idea how many, you know, how it was actually done, you know, organically. But trust me, because by 95, all rappers were smoking weed. All of them.
It had nothing to do with the smoking weed part. It's the part of what he said. Now, Cypress Hill and everybody smoked weed. Everybody done that. And the Chronic came out, but not one of them ever got in front of a television or in front of an interview, and they said, I smoke weed to open up my mind for self-expression and write my rhymes better. And that's the difference.
No, they did. They literally said that.
I've never heard that.
As a matter of fact, I remember on one song, Freddie Fox said, like, a lot of y'all MCs can't rap a lick without sucking down trees. So, you know what I mean? You might have only heard Biggie express it like that before, but no.
Smoking it back in the
a lot of rappers was still maybe some of them still on that positive shit. Cause like even Nas, you know, he acknowledged smoking weed on records and all of that kind of stuff, but you know, nobody wanted. Maybe Biggie was, maybe he was the first one to blame writing rhymes on weed or whatever, but I really don't think he was.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Because people been smoking weed since forever. They was smoking, they was smoking it back in the 60s, 70s, 80s. So
yeah, but I'm talking about as far as being a rapper is concerned, when you smoke weed, it does help you rap better. I can't front on that. I cannot front on that. If you know, look, when I first started freestyling, it used to be tough for me just coming off the head. When I smoke weed all night long, like just like blowing it. So, nah. But the thing is, just like anything else, just like drinking or whatever, you start to depend on it, and now when you sober, you can't do shit. So
that's probably what's wrong with Lil Wayne. He can't stop it out, do anything without it.
No, Lil Wayne problem wasn't.
I'm not talking about weed.
Well, his problem was the heroin. You know what I mean? He was a narcotics user. Him and Turk and all of them, and that was back in the 90s. Them young boys was on some other shit, and I know that for a fact. My man Jay Sloan says I can attest to it too. Sun 752. Most of us were doing it, and was part and parcel of that whole scene way before 95. Yeah, he says I remember in the show Raekwon was talking about how he and his buddies straight up sniffed coke and how they weren't ashamed of it and how they plan to continue doing it. Yeah, Ray used to be talking that shit. I mean, you gotta think. And in the song Cream, you know what I'm saying? Started smoking wools at 16.
Something you said earlier though, son. And we was talking about, and I'm not trying to get off subject, but you had said something about beating the streets and walking the beat and stuff like that. And I said to myself a couple of days ago, I was talking with one of my boys from my brother's church. You know, we was talking, and I told him, I said the problem with certain governments in certain cities, I feel like in Philly, I said, do the mayor of Philly realize that if you develop a task force where as though people beat the streets and walk and knock on these doors and ask people, is there anything we can do to supply you with the needs of helping your kid make it be successful? How much that will help people instead of going to the internet and say, well, go to PA this, that, or Philly this, that.com and we'll give you all the information. When people see that you're willing to knock on their door and assist them with their kids, whether it be with their grades, whether it be with if they have mental illness, whether it be with depression and everything, it opens up the door to people understanding how you give a fuck about their children. And that's where the internet is at fault with certain communities. Instead of being so lazy and making it where though this let me type this in, there's nobody willing to walk the beat and knock on these doors. I mean, we do it with we can do it with music. You know, we use the internet for music. We can go to the children's circle. We can go to small small venues, but you're not willing to use your brain and say, let's knock on these people's doors and help these kids out, opposed to just give them a website to go to, and that's, to me, it's a double-edged sword with the internet, with video, even with radio. If you need help with this, go to this.com. No, sometimes you need that. Like you just said, musically, you can blow up without the internet if you were on to put the work in. You can help out so many other children and sometimes people's children and kids if you're willing to put the work in. Knock on some doors.
I'll say this, and y'all and you and Kim have slowly did this overtime, made me do overtime by 11 minutes, and this is going to stop right now. But what I'm going to say is that hand-to-hand sales will always exist. So
did you see the message I sent you?
You talking about me?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. There's nothing here. I just checked my shit.
I didn't send a text. I sent it on what's the name? Messenger.
I ain't got nothing from you. I'm dead serious.
Let me go look.
Anyway, I'm gonna do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious. Oh, now it comes up. Ain't this about a bitch? Okay. All right, let me do the birthday shout outs first. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious. November 28th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Jen Abreu. Happy birthday to you, and also Kevin Dixon, Lamar Holiday, Calvin Klein, not the real one, but I don't know, and Rosebully Humor, Amira Benthal, and last but not least, Jackie Connolly Wood. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious November 28th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, yo, you can make it if you try. Does the radio and videos matter like they used to, or do they matter at all? Yes, they do. Both of them still exist. Both of them are being utilized by a certain demographic or audience, and they'll have their place no matter what happens. Somehow, some way. And we also have to remember one thing, that radio stations are often owned by big billionaire corporations. So, they have a way of controlling how you get information, regardless of whether you go to the internet or, listen to viral radio. But our people's Kim's Whims has this song that she wants to premiere, and it's about to go down right now. So please get y'all listening ear together and check out this cut?
Well, let me explain it first.
Oh, damn. Y'all taking all day.
Let me just say, this is a collaboration. So this is not a solo project this time. So I'm not very happy with it. But I don't have the full say in anything. I guess it's going to release on Bandcamp or Spotify or something. I don't have full control of it, but I'm not a fan. But all right, that's it.
All right, bet. Let's rock it. Here we go.
I woke up black today. To a kiss from the ancestors as my melanin absorbed the sun peeking through my window like a peeping Tom, trying to catch a glimpse of my beauty that runs rent-free in the head of those mad because the creator created all who don't have to wear black like a costume, but are dressed in magic that can't be understood or explained because the blueprint has a blueprint and a blueprint with a scroll. And the scribe written in sacred ancient language that burns the tongue of those who try to speak something that is unspoken, unwritten, but exists out loud in your face. No one wins in the sin of war. Every battle takes something we never get back. Nature's cousin splits in the dust and the wind. Children of the drum with their voices asking the world to feel again. No, not misunderstood. Maybe misused, maybe mistaken, maybe mistreated, maybe misappropriated, maybe misappreciated. Maybe the reason they sell their soul for a minuscule nanosecond for a swap to feel the luxury of having the wind whisper words of alchemy and cosmology into their sequence of nucleotides. But if they take a moment to reflect, they'll see their reflection as a connection to an ounce of this spiritual perfection, this consciousness, this history, this story of reality, not the made-up fiction from lies and spies. Children of the drum, let their voices asking the world to feel again. Southern robots, slay the war. Every battle takes something we never get back. Nature's cousin splits in the dust and the wind. Children of the drum, let their voices asking the world to feel again.
I thought it was pretty dope. For real, for real.
Yeah, it gave me a vibe of, or remember that song when Jill Scott, the song that goes, it just grows across my mind.
Oh, okay.
When she had the poetry, being over it and everything, it gave me that vibe.
Yeah.
And through all the disrespectful things you done said to me and the things that you done. I never knew that you can blow like that. I never knew you had tonsillitis like that.
You're disrespectful. What?
All the shut up Troys and and all that. Or you telling me and son, I ain't for that. We ain't gonna go through that debate and shit tonight. I never knew that you had tonsillitis like that.
First of all, I never said that was me.
Well, I'm assuming now, you know. But everything, the fire, everything, I'm letting you know for real. I was ready to burn some incense.
Well, I don't really care for the poetry part up front, but the singing part, I was digging that a lot.
Okay.
So I vibe with the whole thing.
That was never my plan.
All right, we out.
I was ready to smoke a joint too. I don't smoke, but I was ready to smoke one.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Everybody, have a good one. Be safe.
Peace on
tomorrow.
All right, bet.
All right, boy. What's up, Oakland?
All right, man. One love. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow afternoon, 1:30 p.m. for another Urban Therapy with Sun show. So make sure y'all come through. I hope y'all enjoy listening to the show as much as I enjoy broadcasting it. And that's gonna do it, man. I'll holler at y'all later. Good night. Peace West, peace Oakland, peace everybody who came through. Appreciate y'all. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Holla.